Have students been conned into coming on campus?
Well, I think you've just heard many students were told that they had to return to campus, and they've moved into halls only to find that the vast majority of their teaching is online. So I think many students are really questioning what they're doing in halls. But I think the Scottish Government guidance yesterday was really welcome news, because it did give the ability for students who are struggling in halls the ability for them to move back home if they wish to do that. However, we do have some issues with it, and it remains that the Scottish Government guidance encourages blended learning, so in-person and online teaching. And we're worried that if students are encouraged that they still have in-person classes, that they don't necessarily have that free choice to leave halls.
What about Glasgow University's point that students had asked to be on campus?
Well, I think, undoubtedly, I think some students probably did want to move out of, say, their parents' house and move into halls and take that extra step of independence. And for those students who do wish to continue to live in halls, we think that universities and halls providers should be providing, first-class support. And that includes things like food and water when students need to self-isolate, but also mental health and wellbeing support in what is quite a difficult time.
In Scotland in particular, so many students don't actually live in halls of residence. How are they being impacted by this?
Well, I think they that includes myself actually is in that category. And I think the figure is 82% of university students don't live in halls. So I think that's why we were surprised with the additional asks on students at the weekend. It left many students questioning, well, obviously we have really serious outbreaks in these student halls, but I don't live in halls, so how come these rules apply to me too? But the pandemic is a really serious issue and a real cause for concern, and we all need to be doing what we can to help limit the spread of the virus.
Just in a sentence, Matt, what needs to happen now?
So what needs to happen now, we think, as a National Union of Students, we need to move to online learning being the default mode of learning and teaching for as many students as possible to help stop the transmission.